You want to know what's bullshit is that when I started this Amityville run through, the film I was looking forward to revisiting the most was Amityville Dollhouse because it's the only one outside of the second one that I remember really enjoying. It was a film that actually surprised me a good amount when I saw it when it was released. I was like, oh my God, that was actually good. Now, comparative to the rest of the franchise, maybe I was just coming off of such a low that anything would have boosted me up at that point. But I do remember that being the better, like way better of the later sequels. And lo and behold, I can't find a fucking copy anywhere online. Not to rent, not for nothing. So, I do own a copy on VHS. That is in storage a long, long way from where I'm at right now. And the chances of me getting there anytime soon are low. So I'm not sure Dollhouse is going to happen for now. That being said, let's talk about Amityville, A New Generation, which is on Amazon Prime in a 4K restoration, as it says on the feed. Wow. So this movie gets a clean transfer on Amazon, but Dollhouse is nowhere to be found. That's some bullshit. This movie features so many familiar faces. I was just like, oh, what? Oh, him? Oh, her? Holy shit. It was recognizable face after recognizable face. It was wild. There's got to be 10 people in here that I was like, oh my God, oh shit. So that was pretty cool. This movie's okay. This movie's alright-ish. Like, it's bad, but it's not too bad. It's kind of passable. So, definitely a step down from 1992, It's About Time. But still a dramatic step up from Curse, which is just the shit of the franchise. Of the official Amityville franchise, not the Amityville Theater and the Amityville Strip Club. Everyone found that way funnier than I was expecting them to. But Amityville Theater is actually a thing. And Amityville Asylum and Amityville Murders and they made 10 more, 15 more past the technically official franchise. But as I said, I'm not getting into those. We're going to stick here. And this will, outside of the remake with Ryan Reynolds, this will be my last unless I can find a copy of Dollhouse. So if anyone has a copy or a place to watch it, like a YouTube, I looked on YouTube. There wasn't one. I don't torrent, so don't point me in that direction. But anyways, all right. So we've got an opening here where a bum breaks a car window just for an umbrella. That's one seedy ass neighborhood. Let me tell you what, I never seen nothing like that. So first familiar face for me, Grady from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, my favorite in the franchise. As you guys know, I blow that thing left, right, and center. So really great to see Grady in here, and he's a total piece of shit. And we'll get to his character in a minute. Chicks in this movie are totally hot. The main dude's girlfriend and Suki, who is actually Ko from Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Or First Blood Part 2 Rambo, yeah. So Rambo's real only love interest in the franchise is the Vietnamese girl who gets killed and he freaks out and whatnot. And that is this girl in this movie. And we get to see Suki's tits in this. So good stuff all around there. Then we get David Naughton from American Werewolf in London, a main character of that movie, and he plays the landlord in this. We've even got fucking Shaft in here, the original Shaft actor who plays another one of his co-tenants that Dave is renting to all these artists in the building. And you've got Sarah from Friday the 13th Part 4, The Virgin. That's going to give up her virginity before her the dude to be gets his head crushed in. I dropped the soap. Better come help me, old buddy, old pal. Oh man, I want to smash that guy's fucking head myself. But yeah, she's in this, and so he meets a random bum on the street, takes his picture. He's a good guy, so he goes over and he's like, look, I'm going to sell this picture. I'm going to make money off of it. You clearly don't have anything. You should be in on this process. And so he gives him a $10 bill. And the guy then gives him a mirror. And throughout the film, we find out that that's supposed to be technically Ronald DeFeo. Although they've changed his name in here, and they've changed the events and the amount of people that he killed. So why they did this, I have no idea. I can't come up with a reason. Like, people will be like, oh, well, you can't use the real names, this and that. That's fine. Okay, I'm not disputing that. I don't really care about that. Don't say his name. Don't show it to us. Just let us assume it's Ronald DeFeo. Why change the location of the murders? Oh, by the way, we're coming up on Thanksgiving in 2 days, and I wanted to do some Thanksgiving horror. Technically, this is a Thanksgiving horror movie. Parts of this takes place on Thanksgiving night. They change it to where DeFeo, or whatever the hell his name is in this, kills his family on Thanksgiving night, and then the last scene of this movie is our main character, Keys here, reenacting the death of his family on Thanksgiving night. So we actually have a Thanksgiving horror movie here, which there's very, very few of. So I was pretty excited when there was Thanksgiving pretty heavily prominent in this film. I was like, oh, this counts, and I'm really close to Thanksgiving, so how wonderful. So Grady is this. Oh, and then the main guy who plays Keys in this, is the Byers family from Stranger Things. The father, the deadbeat dad, that's him. So another actor. Anyway, Grady comes back to Suki's house because he's pissed off after 6 days. She kicked him out for whatever reason. I don't know. If a girl kicks you out of the house within 6 days, and like, really? Like, you're coming back? You guys didn't have anything. This is lame regardless, but 6 days? Dude, come on. That's barely a one-night stand. That's nothing. Move on. But he comes over and he takes a fucking knife and he hacks up all of her art. That is some low shit, man. That's as I say, I've said this many, many times throughout, the thousands of freaking videos I've done now. I've said it many times. Do these people deserve to die in real life? No, not death. That's extreme. But in a movie? Absolutely. That's the kind of character trait where you're like, kill them. Kill them now. Because in reality, that kind of person, that kind of, self-entitled, self-important, doesn't care about literally anything else but himself and what he thinks is right for him. Like, oh, you didn't talk to me after 6 days and I'm a total asshole, but that's your fault, so I'm going to hack up your artwork. I'm going to hack up your livelihood. Like, yeah, that's the kind of character you're just like, please kill him right now. And they do, so that's good. We get rid of him pretty quick. And so this is about a possessed mirror, as I said, that they're moving into the cursed objects. Every one of these damn movies so far, since the third one, has just been cursed object, cursed object, cursed object. And then I think Dollhouse, it's a dollhouse of the Amityville house, but I think it might actually have come from the Amityville house, or maybe a piece of the dollhouse was from. So it's yet another cursed item. Like, it's just this whole franchise. More films are about cursed items than less. So this is essentially a cursed item franchise, if you were to take them all into consideration. So that's really interesting, because it's supposed to be a haunted house flick, but it turns into a a cursed object franchise. Why go down that road? That's so odd. And they show the house in this multiple times. So, weird. Anyway. I like that Grady's character runs into a window after having seen himself cut his face up and whatnot, which is actually kind of cool effects. And then he runs through the window and ghosts himself. So he's like got a slit throat. I don't know how you like perfectly slit your throat running through a window, but he does it and then he dies and no blood is coming out of the wound at all. Usually when you slit your throat, I haven't slit my throat before, but I would surmise that a lot of blood would be coming out of my neck, especially if I died quickly. Like if you died from an injury to, from slitting your throat, it would be blood loss that you died from. So why there's no blood coming out of his neck is really weird. I don't think I've ever seen it before in a slit throat, like ever. So that was very odd. You can tell what time period this is in since the guy's wearing flannel and freaking bandanas. I was like, oh, this is the early 90s, and sure as shit is 1993. So it's probably filmed in 92 during the height of the grunge wave. We got Terry O'Quinn in here as the detective. He's a really, really shitty detective, and we'll get to that at the very end of the movie. Key's girlfriend wants to take it to the next level, as she continues to keep saying it, which you can tell that you're in a really pathetic place in your life when you're watching Amityville, a new generation, and you're actually sitting there like, I wish a girl wanted to take me to the next level. Like I was seriously sitting there like a sad bastard watching that scene being like, oh, come on, Keys, man. You're just lucky a girl even wants to talk to you. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so pathetic right now. This is ridiculous. It's fucking Amityville, like 8. And the acting is all very rough, and the scenes aren't really all that well set up. So you're just sitting there being like, I must be really hard up if I'm looking at a scene like that and actually like attaching myself to it. Realistically, ridiculous, pathetic. Actually, I was laughing at myself, and that's what I like to do on this channel. I like to call myself out for being being pathetic in the moments where I am. So there you go. That's pretty silly. And then he takes a selfie of them like up close. The lens on his camera is like this big, and it's like this far away from his face because he can only get the camera so far away. Nice picture, buddy. Thank you. I said I want to take our relationship to the next level, and then you took a picture of my teeth. Awesome. It's seriously it's this far from their face, the lens that's this long. So even if it was zoomed all the way out, he still only has it maybe 3 inches away from their face. It's a really funny scene. The demon that Suki sees circling inside of her room after she's painted all these really shitty demon paintings straight up looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. Like I expected the gang to like pop in and pop a mask off and to be like, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for these meddling kids. It was really funny. It was really funny to see it, and it really never comes back again. And I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be. It's a really funny one. It's like transparent and like neon green. It's pretty silly. And you've also got the coroner in this when Keys goes to identify the body, who ends up being the homeless man, who ends up being his father. That's the hitchhiker from Creepshow 2. Thanks for the ride, lady. I guess he finally got to Dover, so there you go. I guess he had a coroner's job in Dover. Suki's titties. I like how I put titties. Man, I am hard up. And yeah, Keith's a pretty good guy. He tries to give that dude money, and then when he finds his body, he's like, look, my dad was out on the streets probably. Like, I want to know if like he was taken care of, so I'm going to take care of this guy's funeral costs. And then he learns that it's his dad, which I feel like Terry O'Quinn's character here is just kind of obsessed with, is this guy full of shit, or is he so closed off and repressed with his memories, he just wants to kind of follow him and watch it all unfold so he can be like, is he really full of shit here, or does he not remember? Like, and I think that's just very interesting to him. So I think that's why he lets this go a whole lot longer than it damn should have. We got Lynn Shay in here playing the filing clerk nurse chick or whatever. I have to say, Lynn, back in the day, she's not like hot or anything like that, but she is really adorable, I have to say. Like, I mean, this is 92, so you're talking 30 years ago, and she's in her 70s now, so she's probably in her 40s here. So, and in the 80s, she'd be in her 30s, so like Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. I'd like to see her personality, but her personality is very, like, perky, and I don't know, she's really adorable, and she seems very hard up in this, like me. She's acting like me in this. No, yeah, it's pathetic, but yeah, she does. When she's talking to him, she seems like she's like, I don't get many visitors down here, and you're pretty cute, and if you want to fuck me right here, we can do that, but if you don't, then I can show you towards the door, and you can go on with your life, and I'll just sit here and want to die. Cool, awesome. Doors that way. Never say I said anything to you. Awesome. And then she just lets him walk around in an insane asylum. Yeah, I don't think so. That's a really poorly monitored nut house. He's just walking around in there, like, no supervision, no nothing. Like, doors on the right, like, go on down. He doesn't even have the courtesy of, like, stay to the right. So he just walks through there. Then we get a flashback of his kid, or him as a kid, and he has the worst mullet ever. Like, shaved lines in, but like the sides are really, really like extra short, and then like cut straight. Oh, it's so bad. And then his bangs are all chopped in. Whoo! I cut the worst mullet ever in beauty school, ever. I had this dude come in, and he was a construction worker, and he was wearing a hat, and he took the hat off, and he was like, I want you to shave everywhere up and over and leave everything else around the hat on. Like, I want this all gone. I wear a hat 24/7. I never take it off. I want all of my hair from under the hat left, and all the hair. So I shaved just the top of his head complete. Like, I actually put the hat on, and then I like shaved around the fucking line of the hat. And then he took the hat off, and I just shaved everything out of the line, and he put it on. He's like, love it, thank you, and he left. That was the worst haircut I've ever given in my life. Ever, 10 times over. And he paid me for it. He wanted that. Oh my God in heaven. What the hell? The attack on the wife inside the insane asylum, for some reason, was like extremely realistic to me. Like the way he jumped over the chair and he hit the coffee and he hit her chair and he tackled her. I think that guy was like method right there and probably hurt the actress. Like he tackles that bitch. He tackles that chick, man. It's really, really brutal. And he kills his wife in the institution, and somehow they still let him out like 20 years later. Bullshit. Once he goes in there pleading insanity, and he heard voices and this and that, and then he kills someone inside the asylum, like his wife or the girlfriend or whatever, they never let him out. And then, does Keys have the equipment? I don't know much about photography and blowing, like the way that they do that. Does he have the proper equipment here to blow up photographs like that big? Yes, I know he like cuts stuff out and he like pieces it together, but it felt like there was really big pieces that he was cutting and putting together. So does he have the equipment? It doesn't matter at all. I just thought it was interesting when I was watching. I was like, is that possible with what he has? I don't think so. But he keeps trying to use the pictures, but he can't because the faces are all demon-like. And I'm like, dude, use that. That would be way cooler artistically. So I thought it would add some artistic flair, but what the hell do I know about art? I only know film, right? I don't know nothing about like photography or paintings or any of that shit. I never get it at all. I like the flashback of the family getting blown away because the dads. Oh, little Freudian slip there. He is dead. He gets his face blown right off, and then the mom gets shot too in the chest. Great stuff. Really cool practical effects of like the dad's face exploding and then the mom's chest exploding. Good stuff there. So good points for that. And then Demon Suki kills David. I guess he wanted some Suki Nuki, and he was gonna get it, but then he didn't, and then he got electrocuted. So poor David. And then he's thrown through the mirror into the insane asylum, and I like when he's walking down the corridor and on opposing sides of him, he's like seeing the door, like inside the rooms, like the padded cells, and in each room as he's going down, there's all of the victims throughout the movie, like David and Suki and so on and so forth. Grady's character, I thought that was really cool. I liked that they all have their own room at the asylum, like that's where the dead go to hang. I liked that a lot, actually. And then his other artist guy that lives in the building makes this contraption where it's like a jigsaw contraption where it's called What Time, What Place or something like that. And you just sit in front of a television and watch TV as a loaded gun is pointed at your head. And at any time between now and 2001, the gun could go off. Literally at any time. It's like a test of patience and processing life and whatnot. That's some risky shit. I definitely think there are some people who would sit in front of that thing. But yeah, that's an interesting art piece. I don't approve in the slightest, but it's interesting. It's thought-provoking for sure. What would you be feeling while you were sitting there? Would you get up from there and immediately appreciate your life more, or would it be like a rush, or like what would you get from it? Some people would get one thing, other people get another thing. Anyway, so of course he takes the gun, he goes in there and he pulls the gun on the family. He's gonna shoot him dead, but he resists the urge, blows up the turkey, blows up everything, and then the cops come in and Terry O'Quinn just keeps telling the cop not to shoot. No one that was watching tackled him. No one took it upon themselves to grab the gun from his hand as they were sitting like 1 foot away from him. Come on now. But they don't, and Terry just continues to keep saying like, no, he's going to be all right. And then he finally like shoots the mirror, and then Terry comes up and he makes this joke like, oh, you made a mistake. 7 years bad luck. Oh! And then he just is like smiles and he walks out. He just shot up an entire party in front of you. He's not a danger to anybody. Like, bullshit. That ending was so horrid, so cheesy, so insane. Just the logistics, the reality of that situation. A cop who you barely know. Your father is a freaking mass murderer. Your mindset has been crazy. Like, there's been multiple deaths within your building that he's been investigating. There's another dead body down that no one's even found yet. David's dead body is currently in the house at the moment. But he's just like, 7 years bad luck. I'm out of here. I'm the shittiest detective ever. Adios, buddy. Guess I gotta go get lost on an island now. An insane ending. It's one of those endings where you're just like, there's just not even an attempt of reality at all anymore. Like, they don't even care. It's so funny. I've seen a lot of endings of horror movies where I'm like, yeah, they'd be going to jail at the end of this movie. And this is one of them where it's like, the cop would have been like, yeah, so I'm arresting him anyways. And he probably would have shot him. I mean, the fact that he didn't, when he would like still put the gun up, cocked it, moved forward, shot again. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, all right. Adios.